Hello, fellow Gambians. Once more, I am addressing you, and this is the fourth address after the celebration of our golden jubilee of Gambia's independence. 50 years ago, Gambians decided to take the destiny of their country into their own hands. 50 years, of course, it's a long time, not only in the life of a country, but in the lives of the people. I will therefore once more seize this opportunity to congratulate and commend the founding fathers of the Republic of the Gambia. We are fortunate as the People's Progressive Party to lead the Gambia into self-government and independence and republican status. But at the same time, it was not only the PPP that was involved in the struggle. Therefore, I seize this opportunity to thank all those in the trade union movement, in the civil society groups, and heads of political parties who are all bent in the struggle to achieve independence and nationhood for our dear country. But I'll particularly extend my gratitude and thanks to Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara and all those who assisted him in the PPP and the Democratic Party and the Congress Party who formed the DCA alliance when we were fighting for independence from the British rule. Some of these leaders are no longer with us, but we remember them and pray that their souls may rest in perfect peace. For those who are here, including Gambia, we pray to God that God continues to shower them with His blessings for a longer life and peace and prosperity. Gambians, it is necessary for us to ask the big question: why did the APRC celebrate this independence with so much of fanfare? Because for the last 20 years, they have not only said that independence is insignificant, but that they downplayed the celebration and made it only at the level of regional administrators. But today, we are witnessing this government celebrating independence in the biggest way ever, because they have realized that independence is one of the most important days in the calendar of Gambia's history. And the Independence Day 1965 will ever be more important than any other calendar date in our political history. Not to talk about 22nd July. 22nd July is an accident of history for the Gambian people, because it is the day when some misguided elements of our military decided to take over the reins of government, illegally of course, from the democratically elected governments of the Gambian people. That is why we watch with happiness that now the APRC government has come to their senses and are recognizing and also giving due recognition to the 18th February 1965 and gave it the due respect that it deserves. But unfortunately, every Gambian knows that this is a national occasion which goes beyond party politics, religion, creed or color. But unfortunately, with the small-mindedness of the government of the day, they decided to make it a partisan activity and refuse to invite any of the opposition parties to the celebration of such an important national day. I am not surprised, because in all civilized and democratic countries, a government is a government of the state and of the people. And the moment you take over the reins of government, you are there to govern the people equally and peacefully without fear or favor, affection or ill will, and the law should be seen to be treating every citizen equally and fairly. Therefore, we thought that after 20 years, this government should have been matured enough to know that in a civilized and democratic country, national days belongs to everybody. And the Constitution provides that the opposition parties are legal entities without which our democratic dispensation is incomplete. Therefore, we and the PPP are planning to organize a mass political rally to celebrate this event. And we will, of course, invite our other partners in the opposition to come and celebrate with us. We will be calling on all of you to come and talk to your families, to come and celebrate with us in Birkama. We have decided that this celebration will be held on Saturday, the 28th of March, 2015. We are going to write to the police for the permits, and the moment the permit is achieved, letters will be sent to all parties and organizations for them to come and join us, for us to celebrate what is Gambia's, what belongs to Gambian people, what belongs to the masses, because the parties that fought for independence were mass vanguard parties. Therefore, we appeal to all of you that come 28th March, we look for a mass outpour of people in Birkama. Why Birkama? Birkama is a strategic town, particularly Comoros, in the fight for independence, because it was the Birkama people, the people of Congo, knowing that Sadauda is from Barajeli in the central region, they believed in the Gambianness of all Gambians. They elected Sadauda as their member of parliament, and through him we have self-government. And as member of parliament, through him we have independence. As member of parliament, through him we have republican status. Therefore, we thought that as a party, we have to go back to these people who saw that leadership quality in South Africa and made him the leader that led the Gambia and made the Gambia what it is today. And again, we have seen lately the government with their misguided priorities once again making decisions that doesn't go well with the lives of the Gambian people. How can a government that belongs to an organization called ECOWAS and sign the Convention for the Free Movements of Peoples and Goods of the Sub-Region? The president just stood on television, announced the ban of the importation of vegetables from the neighboring countries. This is unfortunate because, one, it has a very serious negative effect on the lives of the Gambian people, particularly the women. Most of the women involved in vegetable marketing are women. And because the Gambia have not got all the structures in place for us to be able to fulfill the demand of our local communities and our national demand, we of course require supplies from outside the Gambia. Such a mistake was made when an increase was made on the taxation for poultry products. Within 2 weeks, the crate of eggs jumped from $120 to $250 because we don't have enough production locally to meet the demand of the Gambian people. Why are we going to ban the importation of vegetables? Are the main structures, example, reliable supply of agricultural inputs, provisions of strong storage facilities, provision of strong processing facilities, and preservation to preserve the vegetables. Are they existing in Gambia? Are all these adequately provided? Because these are the things that are needed to enhance the production of vegetable gardening in Gambia. And these facilities are not available. So we need additional input, particularly importation, to complement the shortages that we have in Gambia. When there is a glut, there are always gluts because we don't have the ways and means of storing it and preserving it. Therefore, we need the imports. Before the decision, a study should have been made to know what is needed, how and when, and how it could be implemented before the ban was announced. What statistics are available to government to show that the households of women who are involved in dosing, pounding, decorticating of groundnuts and coals and millets have never ceased. Before 1994, we provided a lot of decorticating machines and milling machines. And all the milling machines were given to women organizations. And a big rice milling machine was established in Puntawu, which was milling nearly 10 tons a day. But I'm told most of these machines are non-functional anymore. What can we do to enhance not only the production of vegetables, but to make it an year-round production by providing adequate structures that I have just mentioned, because horticulture is predominantly dominated by women. Therefore, it is important that if we want to assist the women, we have to pay more attention in this area of production. Again, governments banned gambling and lottery in the Gambia. What a serious mistake on the part of government. As this government and this country trying to pursue the development and promotion of our tourist industry, we cannot ban one of the most popular activities in the tourism leisure area. Banning gambling and lottery has put over 2,000 young Gambians out of work. This is a serious matter because already there is so much serious unemployment on the part of young people in this country. Now to once more send over 2,000 on the streets to join this multitude of unemployed young Gambians is a disaster for this country. We have to think very carefully. We have to think very seriously as a government before making decisions that will affect the lives of the Gambian people. If one of the arguments raised by governments is that young people under 10 years are seen queuing at the lottery and gambling dens, let them go to Parliament and make legislation. Just like in Europe, when no young child can go to any shop to buy cigarettes or to buy alcohol, let them make legislation against that and make sure it is not only implemented, but is seriously enforced. And use the radio and the television to educate people, particularly parents, to tell their children not to be involved in gambling or in lottery. When they talk about addiction, how many Gambians are addicted to attire? How many Gambians are addicted to alcohol? How many Gambians are addicted to so many terrible social vices? It is a wrong excuse because the decision is a wrong decision and should be seriously visited and urgently to make sure these 3,000 young people and their families will not suffer anymore. Fellow Gambians, Gambia has a Republican constitution which guarantees the Gambia as a secular state. We are not a Christian state. We are not a Muslim state. We are not an atheist state. We are a secular state where every Gambian or every human being living within the boundaries of the Gambia are guaranteed freedom of worship, freedom of beliefs, freedom of expression. Therefore, the government has no right to quote any religion when passing a law or making decisions. Gambia belongs to all Gambians irrespective of religion, race, color, creed, or which area of Gambia you come from. The law is there for every Gambian, and every Gambian is equal under this law. Therefore, I see no reason why this government, now very usually when they make pronouncements, they want to link some of their pronouncements with religious beliefs or religious standings. It is wrong, and it is illegal, and it is unconstitutional. Gambians should stop it and speak against it. Because we have seen what religious differences have brought to other countries. We should not play with religion. There should be a serious demarcation between religion and state. They should not be mixed. As Jesus said, when they brought the coin having the head of Julius Caesar, they said, you said you are the Son of God, you are the King of Kings. What do you say about this? He said, give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. Let us make sure government operates for all Gambians irrespective of religious beliefs, tribal beliefs, etc. And we allow those who are Christians to go to their churches, those who are Muslims to go to their mosque, and those who are atheists to go to their tours and their jalans. This has been here with us all as human race. It doesn't matter. It is not for us to decide. Let us leave it to God, who is our creator. With the present state of the economy, governments should be very mindful of the decisions that they take, particularly decisions that will increase the hardships and the difficulties that are already upon the Gambian people. People are hungry. People are starving. Essential commodities are not beyond the reach of the majority of Gambians. Very few Gambians now have food on their table because meat is beyond their reach. Fish is beyond their reach. Rice, the same. All commodities are very expensive. While the economy is not working, salaries are stagnant, and of course, all the areas where Gambians used to work and have income and earn income are now being dominated by a few people. And to give an example, why should family farms be involved in bread making to compete an area in which a lot of ordinary Gambians were involved in and when taking them out of business? Why should KGI be involved in the business that the women of this country, they are working with interested of shoes and bags and women's clothes? Why should the green industry be involved in sewing uniforms for school children? What are our women who have their sewing machines and their seamsters and sewing shops going to do? Enough is enough. I think it is high time that all Gambians who want to see Gambia to continue in peace, to see the stability continue, have to stand up and speak. not only against the violations that are taking place in this country, but the impunity with which this government treats the Gambian people. Enough is enough. It's time to speak out. We owe it to our country, we owe it to our people, and we owe it to our children and our children's children. For me, in the PPP, I will seize this occasion and this opportunity to once more appeal that as much as we on the ground want to do a lot of activities, we need the resources to do it. If we don't have the resources, it doesn't matter how equipped we are. It doesn't matter how organized we are. It doesn't matter how many thousands we have at our back. We can never, ever succeed. We need your support. Contribute to make the struggle a success. We need you just like you need us. We are your partners on the ground, and you are our partners in the diaspora. The two link together. Yena ñun ñoo bokk ndey ak baay ñoo bokk réew mi suñ buggee jàmm ji continuer suñ buggee pour Gambia dellu fam nekkoon ku nekk mun a defal boppam mun a waxal boppam mun a amee boppam kon nag dañ leen taxaw takka suñ digga ngeen dimbale ñu. We are ready to make the sacrifice, but we need your support to be able to get the equipment and the implements and the other things that we need to move in the countryside and meet the other Gambian people in their bantabas and in their communities. Because this government, being the dictatorship government that it is, will never ever allow us to use the national radio or the national television. And so far, they have put so much pressure on the private radios that most radios avoid talking to opposition parties and opposition leaders. Therefore, we need to have the means to go up country or to all four corners of the Gambia, speak to the people in their homes and in their communities and in their bantabas. We look up to you people for support. And I'm sure with your dedication and commitment, you will help us to achieve what all of us are yearning for. For once more, for Gambia to be a country of democrats, a country that believes in the rule of law, a country that believes in human rights, a country that has very good government programs, and a country that believes in the sanctity of life, because that is what is most important, freedom and justice. I thank you all very much, and long live the Gambia, and God bless the Gambia and the Gambian people. Thank you very much.